is king! Christ is king! Christ is king!
Let all that you do be done in love. A Christian, when they see their society collapsing around them, doesn't cower or run in fear. He doesn't stick his head in the sand and hope that it will all change and just go away and be all right. He doesn't throw up his hands and say all is lost. A true man, when he sees a challenge, he rises to the challenge. He digs deep within his own soul to find the strength to do what is necessary to meet the challenge in front of him. And this is what as Christians we are called to do. That means that when we see our society collapsing around us, we don't run away. We don't go and join the opposition as Andrew Tate did. We don't despair. No, as Christians, we stand up for that which is good and true and noble. The tutelage of our Lord Jesus Christ calls us to bear our cross and to suffer in his way.
Any questions? Go on, sir.
You know, at the current state that we're going in Britain, with the amount of people that are reproducing and stuff, Britain is going to be ruled by Sharia in like the next 20, 30 years. You know that, right?
Okay. So I'm going
I'm saying based on statistics.
I'm going to, yeah, that's fine.
Of Christians having kids.
Yeah, I'm going to reply to that very statement. So the brother.
20 years, I'd say.
Longer. Longer. So, ladies and gentlemen, the brother raises a point.
Yeah.
Here's the reason why Britain does need immigrants.
Why?
Right? The reason why Britain needs immigrants like JC, right, is because, ladies and gentlemen, why Anglo-Saxons like myself have given up on the family. They believe in abortion. They believe in divorce. They believe in contraception. And so, because of these immoral practices like you find in Islam, they, ladies and gentlemen, are destroying themselves. And for that reason, we do need immigrants in the UK, ladies and gentlemen. And the brother raises a point. Demographically, if something does not change, by 2070, I would say, we're going to see cities and areas in the UK that are being dominated by Sharia. But that does not have to be our fate. If we abandon liberalism that is destroying Anglo-Saxon culture, and we recommit ourselves to the idea of the Christian family, and, ladies and gentlemen, we filter our immigration policy to welcome good immigrants while keeping out bad immigrants, we can avoid that fate. Go on, bro.
You see, in terms of you talking about immigrants and stuff, in regards to what I said, you mentioned the good points of like liberalism and abortion and contraception and all of
I'm
these
sorry,
things.
I can't hear you over these guys.
1 second. With the things that you mentioned,
Notice they shut up now.
the good points.
Yeah.
So like abortion, liberalism, all of these things. This is what is stopping from like the Anglo-Saxons, as you would say, or the British people or Christians or whoever from reproducing and having enough people reproducing to where it can actually prosper, right? Society, like with British people and Christianity. But in addition to that, you also said immoral practices like they do have in Islam.
Yeah.
But that's a contradiction, because the point here is that in fact Islam is still rising in Britain because they are reproducing and they're not abiding to the liberalism ideology such as abortion and contraception and all of these things.
Okay, so
but rather Christians are like yourself, not yourself personally, but like generally Christians are they're becoming more atheists. British people are not holding on to the religion, and that's why there's a decline in that and then an uprising in Islam, because we're still holding on to our religion and not trying to accept the liberalist ideology.
So let me reply. Firstly, you're absolutely right to point out that the thing that's killing British culture is liberalism. We both agree on that, right? And you're right to point out that Islam is growing numerically. You're right to point that out. But I want to point out to you that the reason why Islam is growing numerically is not because it prohibits abortion, because it doesn't. And it's not because it prohibits divorce, because it doesn't. The reason why Islam is the fastest growing religion in the UK is the idea of, it's because of the social model that Muslims are using. So sociologically, Muslims are using a sociological model that modern sociologists could call the Benedict option. It's this idea that you all get together, the idea you're very deliberate about creating families, and the idea that you do value families, right? Now, where Christians apply those same models of sociology, Christianity is also growing. I'll give you an example. The Amish are Christians in America. They adopt all the same social structures that Muslims do, and they are the fastest growing religion in the USA. They're faster growing than Muslims in the USA. The Bruderhof in the UK are a fast growing movement. They're coming from a smaller base, but they're growing because of the social model that they're adopting.
Which is similar to the Islamic one.
So Muslims are adopting a social model that works. So the point is, it's not that Islam is teaching something that Christianity isn't, it's the way that we're implementing it. Now, you said something that's wrong. You said that Christians are adopting liberalism.
I feel like
right, and Christians are becoming atheist, right? And
just to add, just a little point to that, like the Pope recently, I know you're not Catholic, but the Pope recently, he clear-cut said, you probably saw in the news, that he accepts same-sex marriage.
Right. So just a small correction to your small point. He clearly didn't say that. And actually, the Vatican came out with a statement after the one you're talking about, in exact words saying that they're not talking about blessing gay marriage. So you're just factually wrong. You've been misled by the media. So my point to you is,
I'll take your word on it.
You can check it. I invite you to check it. But my point to you is, bro, right? My point to you is, Christianity doesn't accept divorce. Christianity doesn't accept abortion. So the fact that some Christians are not following the Christian faith isn't a reflection on Christianity, it's a reflection on those persons.
Yeah.
Also, I would just point out, I suspect that a lot of the people that you're calling Christians are not actually Christians.
I know, yeah.
Right?
There's a lot of people that are just Christian by name.
Yeah, exactly.
And not really practicing.
Yeah.
But also, I just want to add to the point where you said that Islam doesn't advocate or go against abortion or marriage. So I'm not learning anything, but I'll tell you something that I do know.
Yeah.
I know in Judaism there's something to where the woman can't divorce the man, but the
Just
man
so
can
you know, I've got to go at 5:30.
Okay, this is one quick little point.
Yeah, no. You've got me until 5:30.
Judaism, where the woman can't divorce the man, but the man can divorce the woman. In Islam, the man can divorce the woman and the woman can divorce the man.
Yeah.
However, clearly stated, Allah hates divorce.
Yeah.
Hates divorce.
Yeah.
It should be the absolute last option for you to have to divorce your husband or your wife.
Yeah.
Allah hates divorce. So Islam is against divorce.
Now, hold on one
clearly
second.
tells us that He hates divorce.
No, if you permit something, you're not against it. Like if I say,
so you're not allowed to divorce.
One second. If I say that drinking alcohol is permitted, that it's acceptable,
then it's not prohibited.
It's not prohibited. Yeah. So am I in favour of drinking alcohol or against it?
Okay, so if you put it in that perspective, there's no context behind that.
No, I want you to answer. No, hold on one second.
Okay,
hold on, bro. Calm down. He's big enough to talk for himself.
Do you know? Okay,
right?
So
right. You can participate. I'm not trying to exclude you, but let's all have a conversation.
We're all gonna be logical now.
But unfortunately, we're running out of time.
Okay.
But my point to you is, answer this question.
I'll answer.
If I say that you can drink alcohol, right, but I really discourage you from drinking alcohol, am I in favour of drinking alcohol or against it?
So, the example that you used, it doesn't correlate to divorce. Now let me explain why. So,
I want you to answer my exact question. If I say I discourage you from drinking alcohol, alcohol's really bad for you. Don't drink alcohol, but you can if you want to.
Okay.
Am I against drinking alcohol?
To answer my question after I answer this?
Yes, of course.
You're against alcohol.
You're against alcohol.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Carry on.
So, if your religion teaches that a man and a woman, the woman and the man cannot divorce each other, so they are bound to be together, whether they like it or not. In my opinion, generally that is wrong. Without a shadow of a doubt, it's wrong. Because now, if I marry your daughter and I'm being abusive to your daughter, and your daughter does not have the right to divorce me, that God is unjust.
Okay, so allow me to reply. Firstly, you're factually wrong. Christians, there are ways in which Christians can have divorce. So if one partner commits adultery, divorce can happen. If one partner who is a non-believer leaves the Christian partner, that also allows divorce as well. So you actually don't understand what my religion teaches. Secondly, out of our two religions, the only one that sanctions domestic abuse is the Qur'an, is Islam, because it says that you can beat your wife. Wait, one second. If the husband is being abusive to her, as Christians, we can't abandon that woman to abuse. So that means so they can't divorce because of abuse, but if the woman is abusing the man, sorry, my apologies, if the man is abusing the woman, then the community should protect the woman from the man, right? Personally, I'm in favour of taking the guy around the back of the bike sheds, and letting him know what it is to be hit, right? And showing him that actually hitting a woman ain't okay,
and then
right?
Take his anger out on her just for you doing that.
Right, but in Islam, it says that you can beat your woman if you suspect them of disobedience. Not if they've been disobedient, not if they've done something wrong, if you have a suspicion that they have done something wrong. So I can't take lectures from Muslims about domestic abuse. Remember, in the hadiths, Aisha came to Muhammad and showed her a woman that had been hit by her husband, and her bruise was as green as her clothes. And Muhammad didn't condemn the abuse. That's in your books.
It depends if she committed adultery.
It wasn't adultery. Adultery.
There's always context behind everything.
Right. But my point to you is, right? Like,
Bob,
brother.
I'm sorry, it was nice.
It's all right. We both got to go. What's your name?
We have to go. Granite.
Granite. Nice to meet you, Granite. And yours? Adam. Have you got a Bible, Granite?
We've spoken before, Bob, off camera. Maybe you might have forgotten because
Probably.
we speak to a lot of people. But alhamdulillah, I'm Muslim.
That's fine. But have you got a Bible?
I've had one. I was Catholic before.
Can I give you a Bible?
I have one at my house.
All right. You look after yourself, Granite. Come and talk to me again. It was nice talking to you. Right.